Can you quickly describe what happened to you in your experience?
Well, there was this whale-like thing that was sinking lots of ships around the world in the seas. And so the Americans decided to build a ship that would destroy the whale. And I was journeying on this ship going to destroy the whale. And in pursuit of the whale, it turned on us and rammed into the ship. And in the process, it threw me and my two companions off, and we landed into the ocean. The whale came up to us, and it turned out it was actually a submarine. It took us on there, and then 8 months later, we escaped.
In the time you were on the ship, where did you live and what did you do?
Well, for 8 months, we lived on this submarine, and it had a very large museum, a large library, and a large eating area with exotic food. And we also had our own quarters to live in.
During your time on the ship, what sort of exotic animals did you see?
Well, probably the most exotic animal that we saw would have been the cuttlefish, and these cuttlefish were 8 yards long and very scary looking, and they were eating some of the crew who were fighting it. And we also saw large sharks, seals, otters, and also a lot of zoophytes, whatever the heck those are.
And during that time, what places did you go to?
We went to the South Pole. We went literally all over the world. We traveled overall 20,000 leagues. And we also went to Atlantis, and that, I gotta tell you, was awesome. We also went to underwater sea forests, which were pretty cool.
What people did you have the most interaction with, and what were they like?
Well, the 3 main people that I experienced with would be Nedland, my friend, Conseil, my servant, and Captain Nemo, the captain of the ship. Nedland was easily angered, and which led to us fleeing the ship. Conseil was my servant, and he was also very obedient and trustworthy. And Captain Nemo at first was very nice and just a great guy to being kind of rude.
What were some of the major problems that you faced during your captivity?
There are 3 main ones that I can think of. First of all, the cuttlefish and how they were eating people and destroying the ship. Second, the iceberg, which we were trapped in and were suffocating. And third would be just the troubles between all of the people on the ship interacting with each other.
Well, how did you resolve those problems?
Well, we resolved the cuttlefish problem by slaying all the cuttlefish with our axes, which was terrifying. We solved the iceberg problem, and we were suffocating, and we were trapped literally inside of an iceberg in a little pocket. And we took our submarine suits on and were digging, and then we finally just plowed out of it with the Nautilus, which was the ship we were on. And we resolved the problem between ourselves by just escaping and leaving the Nautilus.
You said that Captain Nemo was a really good host at first, but he changed over time. In what ways did he change?
Well, at first he was very, very accommodating to our needs, and he was showing us around the Nautilus and showing us different animals and letting us even hunt some. He was giving us all the food we wanted of all the different animals we wanted. And then, just because over time some of his crew was dying because of the different problems that we faced, he became really bitter towards us and his crew, and then we fled because of it.
What was the most climactic part of all of your experiences?
That would have to be us being trapped in the iceberg. That was absolutely dreadfully terrifying. We were suffocating, everybody turning pink and blue and purple, and we had to spend literally all day, every day, trying to dig out from the iceberg being trapped inside of it. And I honestly don't know how we got out of there. I really don't.
When all of this was finally over, were you glad it was over?
I have to say yes, because, well, Captain Nemo was really nice and everything, but, I mean, at the end, we really didn't find it so fun there. And going through all these different problems and just not being able to set foot on any land for 8 months straight and being kept on this tight-quartered ship was just awful. And yes, I'm glad we were off that.